Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. For Seekers of God, Spiritual Talks of Mahapurush Swami Shivananda, Part 1, Chapter 3, continued. Before passing out of his body, the Master, Sri Ramakrishna, vested his whole power and the responsibility of his mission in Swami Vivekananda. Only after traveling over the globe from one end to the other and scrutinizing it closely did Swamiji found this Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna mission to carry on activities beneficial to the whole world, and particularly to India. According to the directions of the Master, one by one, Swamiji engaged us all in these activities. If we had so wished, we could very well have lived a life of exclusive contemplation and meditation in mountains and forests. As a matter of fact, most of us had been away from the monastery in different places, doing that to some extent. It was Swamiji who called us together and engaged us in works of service, the service of God in humanity. Even in our old age, we have been carrying on that work. Devotee, Maharaj, do you mean that Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders have not been doing genuine national service? Their unique spirit of service, fortitude and sacrifice cannot be ignored. How much ill treatment and persecution are they suffering for the sake of the country? Swami, Mahapurush Maharaj, no, I do not mean that. Their renunciation, fortitude and national service are indeed very praiseworthy. Their lives are surely great and exemplary, and they have done much good for the country, working for what they sincerely believe to be beneficial to India. However, our plan of work is different. Do you know what we think about the nationalist leaders? They are doing these services inspired by certain particular thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji. There is no doubt about it that Mahatma Gandhi is really endowed with great powers. It is also true that there has been a special manifestation in him of the primal energy, the mother of the universe. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Sri Krishna said to Arjuna, "Whatever glorious, prosperous or powerful being there is, know thou that he has sprung from a portion of my splendor." I repeat, whatever glorious, prosperous or powerful being there is, know thou that he has sprung from a portion of my splendor. Whoever manifests special power and is held in high esteem and reverence by many, undoubtedly represents a special divine manifestation. The Mother of the Universe, who was awakened by Sri Ramakrishna for the good of the world, is obviously working in various ways through the instrumentality of different persons. Many times in his lectures, Swami Vivekananda stated what constitutes India's true well-being. Solutions he proposed for the regeneration of the country 25 or 30 years ago: the abolition of untouchability, the elevation of the depressed classes, the spread of education among the masses, and so on, are now being preached by Mahatma Gandhi. Though we may not voice our ideas and sentiments loudly in newspaper articles, we are actually accomplishing things, not through politics but in our own way. Mahatmaji is working out similar ideas through politics. Just as we are doing things at home because we are interested in India's welfare, so we are doing things abroad because we are equally interested in other races and countries. Of course, in view of peculiar circumstances and conditions, our plan of activity varies in different places. Every monk of the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna mission established by Swamiji is dedicated to the ideal for one's own salvation and for the good of the world, and is engaged in service according to the injunctions of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. Devotee: but Maharaj, the national awakening caused by the non-cooperation movement of Mahatma Gandhiji would have received an added impetus if the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna mission had cooperated with it. This opinion, far from being just my own, is held by many thoughtful people of the country. Why don't you cooperate with Mahatma Gandhiji in his national campaign? Swami Shivananda: Mahapurush Maharaj, well, I told you at the outset that we are working in our own way in accordance with our own ideal. An ideal formulated and left us by the far-sighted sage Swami Vivekananda. Before his illumined vision was revealed the picture of the next 1,000 years, not merely of India, but of the entire world. He saw everything clearly and chalked out a definite policy for us to follow. Swamiji was not throwing stones in the dark. He could see even the distant future clearly. The manifestation of divine power we see in Sri Ramakrishna in this age is unique. There has not been such a manifestation in many centuries. The wave of spirituality will roll on unimpeded over all the world for a long time. This is just the beginning, the prelude. The spiritual sun which has appeared on the horizon of India will illumine the entire world with its undimmed pure rays. That is why Swamiji said, quote, "This time India is the center," unquote. Spiritual power will be manifested with India as the center. Who can stem the tide of this divine power? The regeneration of India is absolutely certain. India's advance in art, science, philosophy and education in every field, secular and spiritual, will be so great that it will astonish the whole world. Compared with her future achievement, her glorious past will pale into insignificance. Then you will realize why the Master and Swamiji came and how much they contributed to the well-being of India. What can the limited mind of man understand about the doings of those divine beings? Don't you see that they have awakened the national kundalini of India? End of chapter 3. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.